Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom lakam, which is peace unto you all. Ha'erab tawab la'atam, za'ach yakam yawam mamrachagadol Charlotte, which is good evening. This is your brother Yawan from the GMS camp in Charlotte. Nachamatam kaya hamalakwat hashamayim kwara. Repent ye, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Call halayim la abanawa Yahweh, bahasham Yahweh shai, bahasham rocha hakwadash. Wamashana la zakwaniam nawa wamalakim shorochagadol, which is all praises to our Father Yahweh, which means He exists, Bahasham, and the name Yahweh Shai delivers, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. So, just want to do a response to the elders' lesson in Dallas entitled "Remain Appreciative." And I'm actually get the etymology of that, and I also wanted to go into the word for gratitude, but this is the etymology of the word for appreciation, and it says, act of estimating the quality and worth of something. It says estimate the quality of, and in the estimation of the quality of the Lord Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, ultimately, showing appreciation ultimately goes into showing gratitude, or that's something that essentially corresponds with it. I'm gonna get this word for appreciate. It says to esteem or value highly. And that was some of the the tenets that the Hazaquan was going into. Showing appreciation, being appreciative, and showing the gratitude and the thankfulness for the things that we have inherited in the spirit. The Lord's name. This truth. Being able to wake up each day to ultimately, be a better vessel. All right, let's get that real fast. Zata Hoyam. This is Psalms chapter 118, and we'll get verse 24, and it says, "This is the day which the Lord hath made. We will rejoice and be glad in it." You see, and the Lord has made each and every day, and each and every day is a day to thank the Lord, all right, because it's another opportunity to, repent. It's another day to essentially build, and be that much better, all right. So going back to that word, give me a second. All right. And it says appreciate. It says to esteem or value highly. Scriptures go into how the Lord is is worthy of His praise. Our scriptures also go into that the Lord is exalted above the heavens. Going into to esteem or value highly. It says to set a price to. It says a price. It says the meaning to rise in value, be fully conscious of. All right. Ultimately, I'm gonna keep going. It says appreciate is to set a just value on. It implies the use of wise judgment and delicate perception. You see, being fully conscious, being fully aware. You see, and being fully aware, is ultimately giving the Lord His due praise. Thanking the Lord, for the knowing of His name. The body, the brotherhood, this truth. And the spiritual attributes that we attain. Through knowing the Lord, knowing the Lord, all right, understanding this truth, it is it's an act of mercy on the behalf of the Lord, you see, and it shows the Lord compassion. So we have to be grateful for that and appreciate that as well. So I'm gonna get a couple words. I'm gonna go back to this right fast. It's the word for gratitude. All right, it says goodwill. It says goodwill, thankfulness, thankful, pleasing, to favor. It says it is hypothetical. It is the hypothetical source of evidence for the existence provided by. It says sings, praises, announces, to praise. The gratitude goes into the praising of the Lord. Give me a second. I might get this word for gratitude as well. It says the state of being grateful, thankfulness, conscious of benefit received. Going back to appreciate, it said being fully conscious of. It says expressive of thanks, well pleased, glad. All right, so just want to get a couple precepts just going into this. I want to go into the commentary as well, but this is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, and we'll get verse 16, and it says rejoice evermore. All right, and we go into this word. All right, rejoice. It says rejoice, be glad. We should be glad that we understand this truth. We should be glad that we have a comforter. We should be glad ultimately, that we have direction in these days that we are into. The scriptures say that wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. We should be glad that we ultimately understand what the fear of the Lord is. The fear of the Lord is reverencing him and doing the things that is states in the scriptures are that ultimately please the Lord, so that we stay in his good graces. We should be glad about that. We should be glad that we have the knowledge to understand these scriptures. Not everybody has an understanding of the scriptures. It says to rejoice exceedingly, to be well, thrive in salutations, hail. It says at the beginning of letters to give one greeting, salute. It says cheerful. We should be in a cheerful type of a state. It says calmly, happy, or well off, and personally, especially a salutation on meeting or parting. Be well, farewell, be glad. We should be glad. All right. I'm curious what it says in the commentary. All right, 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and going to verse 16. Verse 16, it says, rejoice always. All right, and which I'm going to skip down some. It says, because it says the Christian, which it will be Hamashayach Yam, and it says can rejoice always because their joy isn't based in circumstances. Because the different circumstances that we are placed into ultimately is to grow us. You see, we should rejoice for that. And it says, but in the Most High, circumstances change, but the Most High doesn't. You see, so even in the circumstances, when we're going through the circumstances, we should be praising the Lord. When we doing good, we should be praising the Lord. When we're, doing perceivably bad, we should be praising the Lord. So going back, it says pray without ceasing. We should always be in a constant a state of praying without ceasing. And how we can do this is by thanking the Lord for everything. We can go outside. We can thank the Lord for, the ability to see the different benefits and uses of things in creation. Go outside and look at the things that the Lord created. That provides just different. It's just stating different ways in the spirit. That we can show thanks to the Lord. Thanking the Lord for again waking up. Thanking the Lord for knowing His name. Thanking the Lord for the brotherhood. Thanking the Lord for all His benefits. That adds forth to the glorification of the Lord. You see, and it boosts our relationship that we have with the Lord, and also by putting ourselves in a continuous mindset of prayer that adds forth to creating a habit, those good habits. The scriptures say, wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way, by taking heed thereto according to thy word, roughly paraphrasing, taking heed to this word, making them good habits. All right, ultimately, that will be a good habit to incorporate in our day, is praying without ceasing. Verse 18, it says, in everything give thanks, for this is the will of the Most High and Yahweh Shai HaMashiach concerning you. So in everything give thanks. We should always be in a constant mindset, of thanking the Lord. Now we're going to the commentary for this as well. I believe that was verse 19. It says, in everything give thanks. It says we are told to do this because it is the will of the Most High. The thought isn't this is the Most High's will, so you must do it. The thought is rather this is the Most High's will, so you can do it. It isn't easy to rejoice always, pray without ceasing, and everything give thanks, but we can do it because it is the Most High's will. So going back to this, sometimes the commentary isn't always on point, but that's the will of the Most High, you see, because let me get some examples on why that's the will of the Most High, to show that to show that thanks. Give me a second. It says gratitude is considered, because if we're showing thanks and everything, we're essentially showing gratitude. But it says gratitude is considered good because it promotes a positive outlook, increases happiness, reduces stress, improves relationships. All right, again, going back into the praying without ceasing, that improves our relationship, you see, because we're in constant communication with the Lord, you see, and in praying without ceasing, again, we can show that gratitude, again, which, to reiterate, it improves the relationship. So it says boost self-esteem, enhances resilience by actively focusing on the positive aspects of life and appreciating what you have rather than dwelling on negatives. You see, so being in a constant state of being appreciative, showing appreciation, showing gratitude, it essentially allows us to, have a positive outlook, and it helps with our spiritual growth. And it says essentially it helps you feel more content and fulfilled with your current situation, because we have all we need. I'm gonna get a quick preset real fast. This is Zaya Wab. This is Job chapter 23. We'll get verse 11, and it says, "My foot hath held his steps, his way have I kept and not declined. Neither have I gone back from the commandment of his lips. I have esteemed the words of his mouth more than my necessary food." I'm starting from verse 10. It says, "But he knoweth the way that I take when he hath tried me." All right, all the men of the Lord are being tried. It says, "I shall come forth as gold." You see, when thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. All right. Sirach, the second chapter. All right. Also going down to verse 5. "For acceptable men are tried in the furnace of adversity." Roughly pair. I'm actually get it real fast. Zaban Sirach. This is Bon Sirach chapter 2 and verse 5. It says, "For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity." You see, so the elect is being turned into that gold, and that gold tried in the fire. You see, with the fire being those different adversities. Now going back to this, Zaya Wab, Job 23 and verse 10, it says, "But he knoweth the way that I take